So-called billionaire was just throwing people in prison. And when we got to prison, we found 9 people that had been put in prison by the same Ned Nwoko from his village. We have found out also that he has done cross-border prostitution by bringing in underage girls from places like Morocco to Nigeria.
Nollywood actress Regina Daniels has boldly backed Omoyele Sowore's explosive allegations against her estranged husband, Senator Ned Nwoko, adding credibility to his claims. The 24-year-old actress told her 64-year-old husband, "If you don't leave me alone, I'm going to dig-spill everything, whether murder case, land grabbing, fraud, etc." According to Sowrore, who wants to sanitize Nigeria from what he calls criminals like Ned Nwoko from holding a senatorial position in the country, the politician got him arrested in 2021 when he was fighting for Jaruma, dropping a bombshell. Sowore also claimed that among some of Ned Nwoko's fraudulent activities was using one of his popular NGOs to commit fraud. We all remember the big campaign that took him to Antarctica in 2020 and how he got top Nigerian celebrities such as Wizkid and Davido involved. By the way, what happened to that project? He hasn't mentioned it since he became a senator.
He was involved in another fraud because he has an NGO that he claims is eradicating mosquitoes in Nigeria. And what I used in puncturing his lie was that I said to him, "You want to eradicate mosquitoes in Nigeria, but there are mosquitoes in your compound."
According to reports, everything about Ned Nwoko is a scam, from how he got his wealth to his princely title and down to his name. He has reportedly become a thorn in the flesh of the people of Idumuje in Delta State due to his land-grabbing notoriety. His palatial house and tourist center in the Delta are reportedly sitting on land he got for free under the pretense of using it for a community project. As if that was not enough, his greed led him down another route of forcibly seizing lands of farmers in the community whose livelihoods depended on the land. Anyone who dares to question him is harassed like the Obi of Idumuje, who hides for fear of losing his life. Other victims are incarcerated on trumped-up charges or thrown in prison. What are some of the fraudulent activities committed by Senator Ned Nwoko that his trophy wife, Regina Daniels, is threatening to spill?
What's good, guys? It's Tico here for Africa in Glitz.
I studied law at the University of Kiel in England. That was for my first degree. For my master's, I was at King's College, University of London. Then I was called to the English bar as a barrister at law of Lincoln's Inn. First, as a practicing solicitor in UK, I had many big briefs.
Popularly known as Honorable Prince Ned Nwoko, this 2025 sitting senator prides himself on being a London-trained lawyer who practiced law in the UK for over 8 years, representing top government officials from various countries.
Not every lawyer will have the benefit of knowing what was wrong in a country like Nigeria and then being able to take it to the Western world, challenging them in courts in UK, in America, in Austria, in France, in Switzerland. But if you know the level I was operating at that point in time, you can imagine governors of states, like Boni Haruna of Adamawa State, Nyame of Taraba State, Governor Kure then of Niger State, Peter B of Anambra State, Elechi of Ebonyi, and so on and so forth. These are governors that were coming to my office in London.
He served as a member of the House of Representatives between 1993 and 2003, representing Anyocha and Oshimili North-South area of the Delta State. While Ned continues to say that he made the majority of his billions while practicing law in the UK, shocking reports have now revealed that this is not true. Based on the evidence we're about to share, the bulk of his wealth was amassed through a fraudulent lifestyle and the blood, sweat, and tears of the people of Idumuje, Ugboko. Land grabbing. About 3 indigenes of Idumuje appeared on the channel's TV Sunrise program in August 2020. They provided full details of how Idumuje Ugboko has been facing insecurity for 5 years due to the illegal land grabbing activities of Ned Nwoko.
We have in the studio engineer Igwe Enoyibo. We also have Chuks Nwoko, Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
And Uche Aligbe, all indigenes of Idumuje Woko.
It all started in 2005 when he requested free 33 acres of land, approximately 220 plots, for a community project that would create jobs for the people of Idumuje and improve their economy. Of course, the request was granted on the grounds that it would build a dairy factory, poultry farm, piggery, fishery, and other agricultural-related infrastructure for the community's benefit. The caveat is that it will return the land to the community after 10 years if the venture is unsuccessful.
For the past 5 years, we've had almost an untractable problem in our community where someone is using too much might, exploit, intimidate, incarcerate people, all because he wants some properties. About 8 years ago, the community generously gave out 33 acres of land. Free. 33 acres of land is 33 football fields. An acre of land is a football field. 33 acres of land is 220 plots. The town gave it to him to develop at no cost, and he has been developing.
But Ned played a fast one in the community and converted the land to his personal use. Knowing fully well that cattle rearing cannot thrive in a rainforest, he bought some cattle that didn't survive, diverting the attention of the people, and soon built a palatial Moroccan-style mansion on the land, along with a tourist center known as Mount Ned or Mount Delta. Despite the huge revenue being pumped into the booming tourist center, which features a zoo, museum, farm, fish pond, tennis court, Olympic-sized swimming pool, and a 9-hole golf course, Ned Nwoko reportedly has not so much as donated a plastic chair back to the community that gave him the land for free. The profit from these ventures have been used to fund his political endeavors and the lavish lifestyle of his many wives and children. When his 10-year lease of the 33 acres of land ended in 2015, Ned Nwoko again asked for an additional 90 acres of land from the community and another 2 miles by 2 miles of land for a golf course and a proposed university, science, technology and arts university, STARS, which was not granted.
Along the line, he requested for 92 hectares of land, and that is about 250 football fields, and that is equivalent to 1,000, almost 1,500 plots. That is the bareness of it, and the community doesn't have it. It belongs to people, and unfortunately, it's either I have it or nothing happens. So we've been under a lot of threat, we've been under a lot of intimidation. That people like us are not locked up is by God's grace.
And this is when he took the law into his own hands. Having forged documents and signatures of the late Obi of Idumuje, he began grabbing the lands of villagers in 2017, bulldozing their crops and giving rise to a riot among the people.
Some of our men, innocent men, are in Kuje prison, 1 year anniversary, for terrorism and murder they don't know nothing about.
Ned's only response was to invite the police, whom he had already secured, eating from his palms, to arrest and or bring trumped-up charges against people who dared question him. At the time, about 20 people or more were locked up in prison across the country over false charges of attempted murder and terrorism without the option of trial or bail.
2 of our men, since 2017, are in Agbo prison, June, for terrorism and murder. And if you know, terrorism and murder is a capital offense. It's a capital offense that involves the government. And that is where we are. We are being intimidated almost on a daily basis.
This includes the father of ex-beauty queen, Pamela Ifejoku. The lady had no choice but to raise an alarm about Ned Nwoko's cruel activities. Crying profusely in a video that went viral in May of 2021, Pamela Ifejoku, the second runner-up of the 2019 contest, accused Ned Nwoko of arresting her father and imprisoning him for over a year on murder and terrorism charges. She also narrated how Ned instigated a crisis in 2017, resulting in the death of a man, and how her father and others were arrested for resisting Ned Nwoko's land-grabbing attempt. Asking for the help of relevant authorities, Pamela explained how Ned Nwoko tore her family apart, causing an uproar on social media.
My father has been arrested again because of Ned Nwoko. I don't know why Ned Nwoko is so bent on frustrating my family. Please, I beg you all to lend me your voices. Lend me your voices. At least I believe that somebody somewhere will definitely hear us and help us out. I strongly believe that at least there will be one person who can actually do something about this. That there will be one person, please. Ned Nwoko, please, I just want my father to be released. Please release my daddy. Ned Nwoko, please release my daddy. Not just my daddy, please release Priska's daddies too. Release Antonia's uncle. Release my uncle Raymond. Release Damn Clark's classmates. Release them. Why are you keeping them for? What? All this injustice for? What? All this wickedness for? What? All this for? Why?
Apart from villagers, human rights activist Omoyele Sowore corroborated her story in a tweet, saying that when he was detained in 2020, he met innocent young men who were framed for murder by Ned Nwoko. Again, during a November 15, 2025 interview, he discussed it.
And when we got to prison, we found 9 people that had been put in prison by the same Ned Nwoko from his village. Because they said when young people were fighting against him for stealing their land to set up what is now known as his sports university. We fought and helped these guys to get out. Later on, if you guys paid attention to it, there was a time Ned Nwoko also went and hijacked one lady's father. The lady was crying all over social media that Ned has ruined a lot of lives using the police force and using his power.
Ned's notoriety doesn't end with the people of Idumuje, but also their crowned ruler, the Obi of Idumuje Ugboko. Due to his refusal to give in to the whims and schemes of Ned, he was harassed and assaulted out of his palace. He reportedly ran away for fear of his life.
Our Obi, who is a graduate, almost 70-year-old, is perpetually in hiding. Perpetually in hiding, as I'm talking to you.
An entire Obi is in hiding.
Yes.
Ned Nwoko Prince title. According to his relative who appeared on national TV, Ned's mother who had him out of wedlock is a princess of the Nwoko royal family of Delta State, and his father is not of royal blood. Because of this, Ned is not a prince. This story was collaborated on with a post made by Azuka Jebose, which Nollywood actress Shan George shared. According to Azuka, who has been exposing Ned Nwoko since 2019,
I've been exposing Ned Nwoko since 2019 when he tried to force the king to secede 70% of our homeland, Idumuje to him, because he claimed he wants to build a university, he wants to bring a dairy farm, he wants to bring a sports university, he wants to eradicate mosquito. Somebody never eradicate mosquito for him in car, inside the motor when they drive. He will eradicate mosquito for the whole of Africa. Ned Nwoko is one of the greatest liars. One of the greatest liars, fraud, and criminal of our modern political structure. Unfortunately, he is being aided by a powerful system, the police force, and also the judiciary. And the police force.
Sometimes in 1959, the late Nwoko patriarch, called Prince Martins Nwoko, returned from the United States and observed that his younger sister, Comfort, was pregnant. A few months later, Comfort birthed a male child from a secret affair she had with a village teacher from a neighboring town in Idumuje Ugboko. The teacher's name is Daniel Odai. Azuka presented this photo of the man he claimed is Ned Nwoko's biological father and told his followers to compare the pictures and their similarities. To cut a long story short, the baby was named Chinedu. Prince Martin's Nwoko's mother, who happened to be the grandmother of Chinedu, became the caregiver to the newborn son her daughter gave birth to out of wedlock. As Chinedu grew from infancy to a young, charming boy, Prince Martin Nwoko settled into family life and became a secondary school principal. So, he asked his mother, who was getting older, to allow Chinedu to come and live with him and his family. He accepted to be Chinedu's uncle father and, as a form of adoption, gave him their surname Nwoko. Chinedu lived for years, nourished and nurtured by the now late Prince Martin Nwoko and his family. He eventually transitioned to the university campus for further education as a freshman from Prince Martin's Nwoko's home and eventually traveled to London to further his education. Based on this story, Ned Nwoko is not a real prince and is not a true son of the soil from Idumuje Igboko. Relationship with friends and family. Ned Nwoko's cruel deception eventually affected his relationship with his mother's family and relatives, with whom he grew up, especially his uncle father, the late Prince Martin's Nwoko. Growing up, Ned Nwoko was regarded as a brilliant and bright boy with the potential to bring greatness to the people of Idumuje. His mother's family took it upon themselves to sponsor his law education in the UK. Sadly, all he has repaid them with is shame, pain, and disgrace, according to reports. Their family has now been torn apart because of Ned's greed. When he returned from the UK around 1998, he entered the Obasanjo administration to broker the Paris Club deal for Nigerians' loan forgiveness, which earned him millions of dollars.
But the kind of work that I do are very specialized. And that is why I can determine what I get paid. Very few people will do what I do. For instance, the issues that led to Paris Club refunds has to do with loans taking over time and the repayment of those loans and the wrongful deductions or over deductions, as the case may be. Not every lawyer will have the benefit of knowing what was wrong in a country like Nigeria and then being able to take it to the Western world, challenging them in courts in UK, in America, in Austria, in France, in Switzerland. But if you know the level I was operating at that point in time, you can imagine governors of states.
This new wealth introduced him to Nigeria's political and judiciary, power, influence, privileges, land grabbing, and terrorism, allegedly. He weaponized those privileges and unleashed them against his motherland and its people, victimizing everyone, including his aged uncle, Prince Martin's Nwoko, who stood in his way to grab 90 hectares of Idumuje Igboko's rich natural farmlands in 2017. In the midst of land disputes with Idumuje Igboko, Ned Nwoko allegedly used a proxy to issue a warrant for arrest of the man he knew as his father, the late Prince Martin's Nwoko, who was in his late 80s at the time. The suit number for the murder and terrorism charges was tagged as case EHC/M/74/2017 for those in doubt and can be found in the High Court at Efurun Town, according to Azuka. Devious relationship with friends. Friendship also means nothing to Ned Nwoko, and one of the popular stories to support this is his friendship with former governor of Bendel State, James Ibori. Ibori financially sponsored his election campaign for the House of Representatives in 1993, only for Ned to try to unseat him later but failed woefully. It is said in hushed voices in Delta that Ned may have had something to do with Ibori's incarceration for money laundering in the UK, and it explains why they are no longer friends. Fraudulent lifestyle as a politician and UK lawyer. As a politician, Ned Nwoko's deceptions reportedly run even deeper. The story of how the senator promised to use his furniture allowance to furnish Delta State schools with science equipment is one that the people of Delta State will not forget in a hurry, because not a kobo was donated by him during this period. Even as a lawyer in the UK, Ned Nwoko was reportedly popular for defrauding his clients, and he was accused of professional misconduct on many occasions, for which he was once convicted. Could this be the reason he no longer travels to the UK? Let us know what you think in the comments section. Sleeping with young girls. Following his marriage to Regina Daniels, Many suspected that there was something sinister about Ned Nwoko. They were right. Apart from his 6th wife's accusations, he has a thing for young women and has been attracting them through deception. According to reports, he promises to marry these women and sponsor their education through a scholarship, but never fulfills his promise. Instead, he abandons them after having his way with them and no longer derives joy from having them around. According to an unverified report we came across, this is precisely how he met Regina Daniels. She visited his mansion with her mother to inquire about scholarships and he laid eyes on the actress. The rest, they say, is history. Omoyele Sowore has also shed more light on his activities with young women. According to Sowore, he brings in underage girls from places like Morocco to Nigeria for sex.
We have found out also that he has done cross-border prostitution by bringing in underage girls from places like Morocco to Nigeria. These are international sex trafficking crimes.
Ned's NGOs are fraudulent. According to reports, Ned Nwoko's non-governmental organizations are just another business venture to siphon funds from international humanitarian organizations. With Regina Daniels as the face of one of his NGOs, it presents a legitimate front, attracts massive funding from international bodies, and is simply another fraudulent money-grabbing venture. These are part of what Regina Daniels plans to expose. As we know, Omoyele Sowore is backing up Regina Daniels' claim of fraud and land grabbing. In a recent interview with Rocky Yusuf TV, he discusses in detail the atrocities of Ned Nwoko, how he puts people in prison anyhow, how he uses the Nigerian police to terrorize his people and Nigerians, and how he is running a fraudulent organization. Sowore made it clear he is not fighting for Regina Daniels, but her recent marriage crash has brought to light a case he has been investigating since 2021. So tell us, what do you think about the alleged fraudulent lifestyle of Ned Nwoko? What do you think about his name and how he became a prince? Which of these revelations shocked you the most? Do you see Regina Daniels as the weapon that might be used to expose all his atrocities?
Let's head to the comment section to share our opinion. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share with your loved ones. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you can be notified when we drop a new video. Thanks for watching. It's Tikkud here, and I'll see you again soon.